Hey guys, welcome to this really odd video. What am I doing? I'm doing Pharaoh commentated. First time I know, right? This is actually the third attempt I've made to record this, but I keep dragging the window which causes Pharaoh to stop recording the picture. For some reason. Don't ask why, but it just does, okay? Now, in this mission, all I'm going to do is like, for when I record and commentate Pharaoh, it's only going to be for custom missions that either I've made, others have made, or that are in the game defaults, okay? Because I feel it's time for me to actually just commentate and tell you how I'm building my cities, you know. And it's all very well for me recording just building cities after a playtest, which makes it quite quick. That's why the missions are so short. There are not very many parts, because what I'm doing is I'm playtesting now and I'm taking forever to playtest the missions. And then when I come to do the recording, I'm just whizzing through it, because I already know what I need to do. Now in this mission, we've been sent by Pharaoh to a really remote place on the island of Cyprus, as you can see up here. And we've got to establish a port city to export various goods back to Egypt, because we're in a troubled time at the moment. Pharaoh is fighting the Mitanni. None of this is historical, so none of this actually happened. Now first off, we're going to build some copper mines, because we need copper, but we need to first unpause the game. Yeah. Build about 4 or 5. The copper can't be made into weapons in this mission, because obviously I disabled that ability. Because, you know, I'm the map maker. Right, so, you'll find that, you can't do certain things that you would normally expect people to be able to do. Right, so build this stuff here just to get this going, okay? You'll also need a wood industry as well, so you'll need to get that established. You're going to need to establish all 3 types of things here, because there's a request about 2 years into the mission in which you might get one of those items. Now those trees that I just deleted, you can delete them, they're just for effect, so it doesn't matter if they're kept or not. Now you might notice that there's different vocal tracks, like soundtracks in the background. It's because I edited my music.txt file to play different tracks, because I was getting heartily sick of the same tracks being played in the mission, really. Hence why it plays different tracks, right? So we'll put some housing down here. We've got to appease 3 gods, Ra, Seth and Bast here. I think that Ra is the patron god here, so we have to keep him very well appeased. Right, we're going to build a shipyard here. So yeah, just get the housing down first. The way I play the missions is I always start by slowing the game right down to 10% speed. The reason for this is it allows you to build your city while not having massive requests coming right through before you even get a chance to do anything. Hence that's why I've got the game speed set down to 10% at the moment, which is why it appears like nothing is happening at all. Right, so we need to build a temple to Ra. I always tend to just build 1 temple to each and then just spam shrines everywhere, so yeah. I'm building lots of fishy wars because you're going to need an early burst of goods, which you will need, so build that. Right, I'm going to just build the road round like this. 1, 2, 4. Build 4 woodcutters, you'll need them. I just set that storage yard to accept nothing but wood. I'll build a docklands there, because there is limited dock space here in this mission. You've only got a little bit there, a little bit there, 1 there, and then you've got lots of straight line coast everywhere else, but you'll want to probably put things like warships down. Also, just to point out, you can only build chariot companies here in this mission, so don't attempt to try and build other ones, because you can't. Let's just rotate the game around. So as you can see, the people are coming in very slowly. I'll just put that down somehow there. Put that. Let's just get them down. Okay, so I think we've got everything started here, so let's just speed the game right up to 100%. And obviously they start wandering all over the place because they need jobs. I need to put these down because I just realised I forgot to put them down. What a fail. So let's hope the game runs okay. I'm just going to put in a medium statue here and a water carrier just to give them some water. It's always best to try and keep them, you know, what's the word? Keep them actually going. Right, let's see, what are our trading options? Right, Roarte doesn't sell anything yet. They will sell stuff, but I've got it set so that you can't start buying things because the trade route eventually closes. Hint hint, spoiler. They'll buy copper, so it might be wise to get this trade route open because they buy the most items. Men the Fair just buys luxury goods in wood only, and a few other items we can't actually get yet. Abu is no use to us because we can't import any reeds just yet. Right, so just put some housing here. This mission is difficult. I playtested it before and it is quite intense, so you'll notice that. Try and get everything down quickly. You're basically wanting to make as much money as possible fast. You'll probably end up with massive unemployment. We also have to build 2 monuments here. We need to build a small obelisk to proclaim to the Mauritani that this area forever belongs to Egypt, but we also have to build a small mastaba to commemorate ourselves, basically. I better get started on a gemstone industry as well, because you might be requested for gemstones, and other than being exported back to Egypt or made into luxury goods, it has no purpose. And there's no point trying to build manors here, and there is only 2 foodstuffs. The second one has to be imported, and there is literally no point. Okay, so just build a bit of housing there, and that there, and gems. Yeah, you're very limited at the beginning of this, so I'll just quickly show you. You've only got fish. You can import straw for absolutely no reason at all. You could try and make your own bricks, but because you can only import clay, I highly recommend that you do not do that. I just recommend you import the bricks straight as. It's quicker, because as I found out, if you try to drag supplies out too far, so for example you have, say, clay, it can be used to make pottery and bricks. If you try to drag out imported clay too far, then pottery industry will suffer. Houses will devolve all the way from something like fancy residence down to ordinary cottage. You'll run out of workers and then you'll be screwed. So please try to avoid going too far with this. So let's see how things going. I'm going to open this trade route to Roarte just to get the copper industry going. As you can see, there's the trade route. Right, so export copper. Oops. There's food coming in. I'm going to put that down. Yeah, 3,500 people is possible, but be careful. In the original version I made of this, oh god, my sock's got a massive hole in it now. Oh, fail. Right. Yeah. In the original version, I originally had it you could only import barley, and that was it, you couldn't import beer straight, but I realised that had a bit of an issue by the end of the mission. When you have 3,500 people, it's not possible to import just based on one item. So make money based on just the following items. And it's about now when we're going to get requested something from a particular city that I'm not going to actually mention right now. I'm actually going to put a storage jar just here because you're also going to need to stockpile fish. Hint hint. Should get more workers now. The request is just about to come around in this month, this year. There we go. Okay, I don't know what that was, but right. The city of Kairi will request a certain item in 9 months. It will either be 1,000 planks of wood, 1,000 ingots of copper, or 1,000 gemstones. Okay, so get all industries started as soon as possible. If you accept the request now, the trade route will open, but if you don't accept the request, then the trade route will open later just by default thing. Now what I highly recommend you do is put in a storage yard somewhere, just like here, to get a quarter wood and accept chariots, because you're going to need to build chariots in this mission, so we'll build that. Don't bother about the monuments just yet because you can't actually build them. Try to make this settlement disconnected from the rest of the city, and as you see, because you sent 1,000 planks of wood to Kyrene, we can now trade with them. Now they sell you weapons, but there's absolutely no point in importing them because you can't actually turn them into anything. Now as you can see, our second foodstuff is of course pomegranates. Kyrene also buys, let's just check the world map again, sorry. They buy linen, wood and papyrus. And they also sell you pottery if you want to upgrade to early, but there's no point in trying to get too high. Because the new trade route is open, yes, we'll get popular. Basically, every time you do something good, your kingdom rating will go up, and every time you do something bad, it will go down. It's quite simple logic, really. Pardon me. We better open this trade route to Kyrene now. They'll trade more pomegranates later on in the mission, so don't worry about it too much. Right, we're going to get exporting wood. They want wood for some reason. I can't actually remember what the reason was that they wanted wood, but this mission basically requires a lot of micromanagement on your part. I'll just import pottery now. How's our gods doing? I think they're pretty pissed. Yeah, Raz pissed. Let's get some shrines down 2, 3, 4. That'll do. The Ra will get pissed quite quickly and quite easily, for that matter. Yeah, to satisfy your citizens' needs, the city of Roarty will then request 1,000 gems in 9 months in about August 1987. So try to stockpile gems and send them, but it'll set off a chain of events that you'll just end up having the city closed down for a while. On that note, you should try and build a transport wharf. Just one will do, it doesn't matter. Okay, we've got a good employment, so it's okay. There are 3 fishing places, so there's one just in this alcove here. There's one around there somewhere, and I think there's one just there, yeah. Yeah, because you sent the gems, we got a popular on the Egyptians. Right, okay, build that fort for God's sake there. It will take quite an immense amount of time to try and actually, you know, build this thing. I think there should be another trade route that buys copper later, so don't worry. Right, as you can see, you can't involve these above Spacious Homestead yet. What was that? Set request goes here. There seems to be no end to this, for the city of Roarty is requesting more wood, right? So 8 months you've got for this. If you've built enough, you should be enough woodcutters. You should be okay. Let's see. Come on, put that back in. There's only 700 planks of wood. Come on. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, 900 planks of wood. Send it. And there's not a massive amount of trees here, they're just hemmed in behind these rocks. So try and avoid building around them or cutting too many down, because you're going to need to have wood to actually fulfill requests. Eventually you'll end up being saturated with fish, so you'll end up having them standing around like crazy waiting. I'm pretty sure a request for fish is about to come up here. Troubles continue to mount for Roarty's got struck with famine. You need to send 1,100 buckets of fish. But it doesn't matter because the trade route will close down anyway, so... Right, let's put some jewelers down, I think would be a good idea. And make some luxuries. Luxury goods, that is. Or, let's see if I can get this in there. Okay, luxury goods. I better open the trade route to Mend the Fair because I'll need to. And export. You can only import papyrus at this particular point, so don't bother about importing it because you can't actually do anything with it. It's hard to commentate on games like this. You shouldn't have too much trouble with money. I'll let you build all the building types just for the hell of it. Yeah, so because this 1100 buckets of fish you've filled the belly, you've become more popular. It doesn't actually matter because the raid will still close down regardless of what you do. I'm actually going to destroy that and build another transport wharf here. Yeah, trade city under siege. Military scouts have terrible news to report. It seems a debilitating siege now strikes at Roarte. Because Roarte is under siege, the mighty city has fallen. So as you can see, it's not trading, it's now a distant city. So where's Roarte? This is a glitch. If a trade city shuts down while that city's on the map, it will glitch out like that. So now it just seems to think that there's I don't know why, but it's a glitch that seems to happen. Just ignore it. It can happen, so don't worry. Just what? I don't know what it's going to say. The reason you've got to get the right, so because Roarte has fallen to invading forces, the Egyptian army is engaged in a fierce battle. Imperious Pharaoh demands he send troops to the distant battle city of Roarte to enter into the fray. Now the time you're given will vary. It might be 2 months, it might be 1 month, it might be 5 months. So make sure you've got all the troops ready for this event. You've got 6 years to prepare for this, but you don't have to deal with any invasions yet. I highly recommend just sending whatever you can, to be honest. So that's how many troops? 13 of that'll do. They're academy trained and they're chariots, so they'll do just fine. I'm only going to send 1 squadron, pardon me, just because that's enough. We don't need more than that. As you can see, I've done Pyramid Scheme, the Pass. That's a custom mission I found somewhere on heavengames.com, and 2 cities is a predefined one. Pyramid Scheme, it's not actually meant to be like your average pyramid scheme, you know what I mean? It's actually meant to mean something else. But I'm saved there just so that in case if something does go wrong, I can just revert back to the save anyway. Right, so what we need to do is go to here, dispatch now. You need to send navy, it won't let you send land troops. In the very first version of this, I actually ended up having it triggered wrongly. So I was wanting land troops because I set some of the routes to be land instead of water. How you could get to a land trade route from there to there is unknown and virtually impossible. So send them off, they should be okay, and we'll be able to trade with them if they succeed. If they don't, I'm just going to reload and send my other troops. They should succeed. I mean, they're charioteers and they're academy trained, so they should be fine. Right, let's see what our gods do. Oh, Seth's pissed. Right, so let's put some of these down. You could put shrines behind other things, so they just have to be within 2 tiles of a road for them to actually have an effect. So we'll put down 1, 2, 3. That should do. Bass, stop getting pissed. Right, okay, that's it. We only lost 1 charioteer company, 1 chariot. They're home. There we go. That should be enough. Because Pharaoh's victory at Roarte depends upon your troops. Egypt has successfully conquered the city. Well done. You're not required to send troops anywhere else, I believe. So I'll just destroy these, so it's okay. You'll get the message. Because the foreign city of Roarte has been subjugated, we can now trade. Let's just open trade with them and get our copper exports back again. Now if you open the trade route, you'll get the demand increase messages. If the trade route's not open, they'll just happen silently for some reason. Don't know why. Because a new trade route has become available, you've become more popular. Here we go. So, Roarte will trade more pomegranates. And they'll sell you up to 2,500 pomegranates. So let's see, what else do they sell? I believe they sell barley, beer, and God knows what else. Barley. There we go. So now we can get barley from them. So let's import that. I'm going to just build a small beer making thing just here. I'm just going to destroy that woodcutter and put it there. You have to wait a while before the game recognises that you're able to build that particular item. I don't know why, but you just do. So that it's not letting me build a brewery just yet, which is silly, but there you go. Now they sell bags of clay. So you've got 2,500 bags of clay and 1,500 bricks at a time, so that's enough for me. Come on. Right. Let me build the goddamn brewery, of hell with it, right? I think it's because I opened the trade route before it happened, but it'll correct itself soon. Can we actually import beer straight? No, right, okay, I'll have to wait a bit. Come on, give me the bloody building, right? So until you get the building, you can't actually do anything with the barley, but there you go. It's easier just to import stuff straight rather than try to make it from imported goods. It's virtually impossible anyway, as far as I can tell. I'm going to change that from that to that. I think about the end of this year it should correct itself. If it doesn't, I will be sorely annoyed. Very annoyed. Why is it not correcting? Come on. Come on. Oh, please don't tell me I've glitched my game. So that would actually be quite funny, you know. It's not like I'm going to go back that far anyway. I'm going to have to reload from that save game because it's glitched, which was silly. Yes, I'm not actually going to cut this shit out, so there you go. We'll just speed through that. We'll just not open the trade route. It's easy to get through all this crap again anyway. Because I know what happens because I've playtested this map so often. Yes, find it. Right, so I'm going to wait a little bit before actually opening that trade route again, just so I can get the buildings back. Because basically when the trade route opens, the game will give you buildings based on what it sees. So you might have to wait quite a while. So now it sells pomegranates because it's happened in the background. It's a background thing, so we'll just check. A few months. I'll just wait until now it should say it there. See, now it says we've got barley, so I'll just wait a bit more and I'll wait until it... That should say... No, it's not said yet. Right, now we should open the trade route because I believe that we now have the items, yes. So if we open the trade route now and go to our buildings, we now have Potter and Brewery. That's basically how it works. You have to open the trade route after those things happen, so you have to wait for the stealthiness basically. Open it too early and you'll just be screwed. Right, oops, I just think I screwed something up. Right, we better build these shrines again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to build a few more woodcutters just here. Oops, not that. Oh, for God's sake. Sometimes my cursor won't move when I tell it to. I'm going to make that, and that. Okay. So let's import clay and barley. Build down a few breweries.